First of all, what do you think about the probability of a physical contact with extraterrestrial intelligence?
I think it is extremely unlikely that we are going to have any physical contact. And the reason I believe this is because if travel across the galaxy was a possibility, then I think that alien beings would have come to Earth a long time ago, and we would know that they exist. They would be here now. This is an argument that was first advanced by the famous Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, who asked, where are they? If they're out there, where are they? So I think that there are probably very deep obstacles of principle to interstellar travel, and the best way of communication between alien civilizations is through radio signals or something similar.
But if the human being will take consciousness of the existence of other life forms in the universe, what will be the most important philosophical and religious consequences?
I think there would be severe problems for Christianity, because in this religion it is necessary to suppose that the figure of Jesus Christ represented some very special activity by God on the surface of this planet. If there are advanced beings throughout the universe, then either God will have had to repeat that activity everywhere, which seems sort of silly, or there would be something special about human beings, which would be very difficult to believe if there are creatures that are perhaps much more advanced than us, not only technologically but spiritually more advanced as well. So I think there are problems for Christianity. But for me, I think it would be one of the principal reasons for believing that there was an underlying purpose or meaning behind the universe if the emergence of life and consciousness was something built into the basic laws of nature and not just some freak accident that occurred on the surface of the Earth.
But what are exactly the purposes of the SETI project that you talked about during your lesson?
The purpose of the SETI project is to see whether there is just a small possibility that there might be radio or perhaps light signals coming to Earth from alien civilizations elsewhere in the galaxy. Now, in order to expect this, you have to assume not only that alien beings exist, but they're taking the trouble to communicate with each other and to welcome new members into this galactic club of communicating civilizations, and that maybe they have been sending signals for thousands or even millions of years in the hope that creatures would eventually emerge on the Earth who would pick up these signals. That's a lot of assumptions, and so it has to be said that searching the sky with radio telescopes in the hope of picking up an alien signal is, as we say, very much a long shot. That is, it's only got a very small probability of success. But the implications of succeeding are so immense that I think it is a glorious enterprise, and it costs so little, it would be a tragedy if we were to abandon it.
But is this project still active?
The project has been active since about 1960 in several countries, but about a year ago, the American Space Agency, NASA, decided that the time had come to make a much more systematic search, not only of many thousands of stars, but over many millions of different frequencies. Because, of course, there is a problem that you may turn your telescope onto the correct star, but tune in at the wrong frequency. So you have to analyze many different frequencies. Now, the latest state of play on this project is that the funding has been cut by the American government as part of its budget deficit reduction measures. This doesn't necessarily mean that the project will be abandoned, because the equipment certainly exists, the radio telescopes are there, there's no actual cost involved except paying for the time on these radio telescopes. And in America there are many different funding mechanisms. So this is a story that's been on again, off again over many years, It's not the first time that funding for SETI has been apparently cut right back, and I'm sure that the scientists involved will find some other way to fund at least part of this major project.
Okay, Dr. Davies, I can't avoid this question. What do you think about the UFOs phenomenon?
I've always been fascinated by these reports, and I've investigated many of them myself. I've always been able to find satisfactory explanations in the cases that I've looked at, but what has most impressed me, I suppose, is that the witnesses to these events do seem to be relating a real experience of some sort. However, I don't believe these experiences are of alien beings coming in spacecraft. I think it is something much deeper in the human mind, and something rather connected with religious experiences. I don't myself draw a great distinction between reports of angels, for example, and reports of beings in flying saucers. I think throughout the ages people have had these sorts of experiences. I think if we understood them, we would know a lot more about the human mind. But I'm quite convinced that these people are not encountering real physical beings from other planets.
Okay, thank you very much.